Everybody, it's Larry. How you doing? Happy New Year. Today was the first day of semi-decent weather in Los Angeles, and I chose to do a one-wheel ride. I just didn't want to hassle the beach today. Still New Year's weekend, and there are a lot of people in Los Angeles who just go visit the beach, and I didn't want to deal with the tourists. So I'm here on the Blue Beetle and just riding around the neighborhood, getting a ride in while I can. So this is a one-wheel electric unicycle combo day. It's sunset here in Los Angeles. I don't know if you can tell. I don't know if the sun going down is in the background, but I'll just show you some scenes. And got a beep on the Blue Beetle, because the Blue Beetle has the same motor as the M10-4. So even though it feels more substantial, got to be really careful about your speed on the Blue Beetle, because 25 miles an hour is pretty much the maximum, and I have a beep triggered at 23, so just to be safe. So what you're seeing here, these bushes, these border the LA Country Club. And as you can see, there's a lot of new construction in the neighborhood. Housing prices are down around here, which I suppose, they fluctuate. It's a nice neighborhood, and what goes down goes up, generally speaking. But I remember about, 20, 25 years ago when I bought my first house, one of these that's on camera, I don't remember which one, but I came very close to buying it, and the backyard would have been the LA Country Club. It is shameful to think of what the prices were back then. I won't get into it, but let's just say that you can't get a house in Los Angeles for what I was going to pay for one of those houses back in the early 90s. So we're cruising down a street called Club View. Those buildings you see in the background, you may not be able to see them too well, but it's the start of the Wilshire Corridor, which is a group of kind of expensive apartment buildings and condo units. As we come down this street and make a left, we're going to see the house that I did end up buying in the early 90s. And I sold it right at the financial crash, which was suboptimal, but this is my old place. So you can see it here. These denuded trees in the front, I put in myself. And so that's where I used to live. I had some good years there, but it would not have worked for me as a grown-up. So everything worked out for the best, as things often do. This is the house that my friend Peter Weinberger grew up in. His mom, Janet, and I are still in touch, as is his stepfather, Joe. We're going to cruise around the neighborhood. I'll show you a couple of other interesting sights that I remember, seeing as though it's New Year's and a time for reflection. Now we're going to take a little look back. So we're coming up Rochester here, and on our left, we're going to see Mary Schlotman's old house. Mary is someone who was at our Christmas party this year, a really good friend over the years. Her house is now gray. The really cool thing about this house is it had a bomb shelter, which, how cool is that? I mean, you don't get much cooler than that. So we're going to turn up a street called Wornall, and again, whoa, a lot of construction. So somewhere here on the left, I don't remember which specific house it was. It might be the one being torn down, but that was Greg Ostrin's house. One of these up here. And with this driveway here, this was Mike Pizzuto's house, 1318. And we had a lot of fun times over at Mike Pizzuto's house. I know Mike was instrumental in my getting into baseball. And his dad, Vince, used to play catch with me, probably taught me how to throw a ball. So we're going to double around, and we're going to go back up Wornall. That's Beverly Glen down there, in case you're interested. And we're going to come back down Warnall, and on your right, momentarily, will be the former home of our pal Scott Adelson, who also lived in the neighborhood. We had quite a collection of kids growing up. You can see Century City in the background there. Somewhere behind those buildings is Nakatomi Plaza from Die Hard. And that's around there. So we're crossing over Rochester now, and we're going to get near Scott's old house. I remember Scott's house really well because we were playing on a slip and slide, and I really brutally twisted my ankle coming down the hill. I do believe this is it. See this big hill right here? Scott's old house. And as we continue our tour of Warnall, we're going to come along another friend's house, which is the house where Louis Laxanetta grew up. Yes, Louis's old house, the Louis Laxanetta. Let's see if I remember which one. I think it's either this one or this one, and it's confusing because this one has been redone, but it was one of those two. And we're going to go take a right on Comstock and continue our tour of people I used to live close to. This is really a great early evening to ride because there's really no one around. And the only thing I'm missing on this wheel is suspension. You know, you ride the Sherman S and the Patton enough, you really get used to these bumps just being, you know, nothing. But on the A2, which is my wheel of choice tonight, the Blue Beetle, every little imperfection is there, so you bounce around a bit. So I have to be mindful of that because I've spent so much time on the Patton and the Sherman S. So we see, as we come down Comstock here, more construction. Yeah, they are really mansionizing this neighborhood. That's one. There's another right here. Boy, I didn't even know this one was gone. Wow, that's really something. And we're going to come upon a house that was where I lived when Rue was born. So we moved here in 2012 and actually thought we had a 10-year lease. You can't see much of it. It's just got this big hedge. They're redoing it now, that place. But we had a 10-year lease, and our landlords, it was a trust, and the members of the trust got into a big fight, and the lowdown was they decided to sell all of their holdings. The interesting thing about this house is it was Laura Tanney's house. I don't know if you remember Laura Tanney. And also Heather Chin used to live there as we were growing up. So, you know, we never knew. And it's kind of the neighborhood. I think the only house I missed was Greg Stearns. I was kind of out of place, but Karen Sherigay lived around here, Mike Sin, Patty Sin. So it was a nice little cluster of kids around here. So I'll leave you with that. We've had a little neighborhood tour. Nice, enjoyable ride. It's about 60 degrees. It was like 65 today when I was on the one wheel, which was a lot of fun. But, you know, I'm kind of an UC guy, so I just didn't want to go to the beach today. And just, you know, it's wet. There's bad drainage on the bike trail. There are huge pools of water. Just didn't want to deal. Now, we'll see you later. You'll have fun from sunny California. Sunny for today. Not going to be sunny later in the week, unfortunately. Y'all take it easy. Bye-bye.